Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, France's highest court has suspended a ban on full-body swimsuits or burkinis worn by Muslim women, while the ruling only applies to one town, that of Villeneuve-Loubet. It's likely other resorts, including Cannes and Nice, may have to lift the restriction as well. Campaigners said the burkini ban infringed the rights of women to wear what they wanted. Well, Hugh Schofield is in Villeneuve-Loubet for us tonight. Hugh?
Yes, well, you join me on the beach at Villeneuve-Loubet, which is not the most picturesque of beaches by Riviera standards, certainly compared to Nice or Cannes, but then maybe it's more typical, it's ordinary, it's popular. People from all backgrounds come here to enjoy the sun and the sea. It's also the epicenter here of this burkini row, because it was this beach here, the ban on this beach here, that has now been overturned by this court in Paris. And today, this afternoon, we were actually able to meet some Muslim women on the beach, break this news to them, and they were very happy indeed.
C'est vrai?
Oui, oui.
Oh, les filles, le burkini, il a été enlevé ce matin par l'Ougda. Vive la France, vive la liberté!
This is Sarah Gader and her family, and the moment when we told them that the burkini ban had been lifted. Sarah's Muslim, originally from Tunisia, and she told me that had it not been for the ban, she'd have been wearing a burkini or something like it on the beach today. Now that the news has come from Paris, she'll be back covering herself more fully tomorrow.
Sont tous jugés.
It's been really hard because we all felt we were being judged. Even though I've been covered for 30 years, it's never been a problem. But in the last 2 weeks, I felt awkward. It's the way people were looking at me. Before, people didn't show how they felt towards us. Now they say they don't like it, and that really hurts.
Et ça fait mal au cœur.
One woman in Nice knows what it feels like. She was photographed apparently being told by police to remove an item of clothing. That made the burkini ban not just a French, but an international story. But now the State Council in Paris has reversed the local banning orders, which were issued over the last 2 weeks by some 30 towns, mainly along the Riviera. The towns had said that after the Nice lorry attack, there was a risk to public order from outward signs of Muslim affiliation on a public beach. The judges disagreed.
It's based on the principle of the freedom of the religion, the freedom to express his religion and to be able to wear whatever you want, even on the beach.
Of course, not everyone in France is going to agree with the court's decision. Former President Nicolas Sarkozy says he wants a burkini ban across the whole of the country, and polls suggest that a majority of the French would probably agree. They want to stop to what they see as the gradual encroachment of Islamic lifestyle and symbols into the public sphere. Outside France, such arguments seem to cut little ice. The burkini ban sparked protests outside French embassies in London and Berlin, and campaigns on the internet urged the French to let women wear what they want. But France is a complex country. Things that might seem obvious in other places don't seem so obvious here, like letting women wear religiously inspired clothing on a beach. Hugh Schofield, BBC News at Villeneuve-Loubet on the French Riviera.
The French ban on full-length swimsuits, known as burkinis, has been suspended after a ruling from the country's highest administrative court. Human rights activists argued that the ban in the town of Villeneuve-Loubet contravenes civil liberties. This is just the first step in the process, though. The court will now be given more time to rule on the legality of the whole case in the 15 towns and cities where the ban has been imposed. The issue has opened up divisions among French society and government, as Kamian Zoran reports.
When Siam, a 34-year-old mother of two, was forced by armed police to remove some of her clothes on a French beach this week, were you appalled or did you approve? This afternoon, a French court has unbanned the burkini, the simple piece of swimwear that's become an ideological battleground and a political weapon, as the country is pushed further to the right after 3 terrorist attacks in 18 months. But in the land of liberté, the freedom to wear a burkini, ruled the court, is as sacred as the freedom of speech.
It's against the civil freedom of religion, and now the decision of the Conseil d'État is final, and there is no other appeal, so it will be the last decision in France about this topic, and we can say that it's the end of the arguments, the politic arguments about this question of burkini, of banning burkini.
But it's not the end. The burkini is an easy target for the former French president Nicolas Sarkozy, a conservative who's campaigning for another tilt at the top job. But he's losing ground to the Front National. Elections are next year, and he can smell the populist appeal of a ban.
I ask for a law forbidding it on the entire territory of the Republic.
After today's verdict, Sarkozy's party said they'd go to the French Parliament to enshrine a ban in law. And in Corsica, where there have been fights on the beach about burkinis, one mayor insisted the ban in his town would stay. But aside from the politics, there's the practicalities. What does prohibiting an all-in-one beach garment, favoured by some Muslim women, actually achieve? Does it help France with integration? Or reduce the chance of another terrorist attack? Or just make the beach another place where French Muslims, especially women, feel unwelcome? The burkini ban, says France's Moroccan-born education minister, has simply unleashed racism.
It poses a question to our individual liberties. When you reach the point, you check whether clothing conforms.
To be French, a French woman, a French Muslim woman on a beach. Who is to say what she is or is not allowed to wear? Tonight, in the eyes of the law at least, it is clear. She decides, and she alone.
The highest court in France backed the burkini today, ruling that a local ban on the Islamic bathing costumes breached the fundamental freedoms of those who choose to wear them. It is a blow to presidential candidate Nicolas Sarkozy, who had promised a nationwide burkini ban if elected, and the current Prime Minister, who called the swimwear a provocation against which France must defend itself.
Rarely, if ever, can an item of swimwear have ignited such a storm. These were the pictures that divided France and shocked the world beyond. A Muslim woman forced by a group of armed policemen to remove her clothing on a public beach. The burkini was banned by more than a dozen French towns for being overtly religious. The law had wide public support, but activists from one town near Nice took it to the highest court in Paris today. Judges ruled it should be suspended there.
It's against the civil freedom of religion, and now the decision of the Conseil d'État is final.
As absurd as all this may seem, it's important to remember the context. France has suffered a series of terror attacks over recent months. The country feels embattled and angry. These are extreme times in France, and many here believe they require extreme measures. But the Republic's great founding values, freedom, equality and brotherhood, are being tested now like never before.
I support without any hesitation the mayors who have banned the burkini to preserve public order. I ask for a law forbidding it on the entire territory of the Republic.
The burqa is already banned in France, and many here believe the burkini should be no different. It is a political provocation, they argue. But others see this as a cheap shot, a needless strike back at France's Muslim community.
We're happy with the court's decision. This ban just stirred things up. It could make an already tense situation violent. And what's more, it was unnecessary. It didn't solve anything. It made things worse.
There was little sign of stress at the man-made beach on the banks of the Seine today. Parisians enjoying some late summer sunshine. No burkinis to be seen, but that didn't stop the debate. We've been victims of terror in this country, he says, and the burkini is a clear symbol of Islam. That's why it offends people.
We live in a free country, so they do what they want. If they want to wear something like this, it's not
It's no problem.
Yes.
As this country debates the best way forward, it's being forced to ask some difficult questions of itself. Martin Geisler, News at 10, Paris.
I've been getting